So tell me about the state of marketing and advertising today, Laura. You've got a pretty unique perspective. I'd love to hear it.
So I generally think we're in a full-scale crisis of confidence in marketing. And I think the crisis in confidence is at the board level. I think it's at the CEO level. It's certainly at the CMO level. We see it play out with the holding companies and how they're doing and how they're under pressure. And that impacts every other part of the ecosystem. I fully believe we can get out of this crisis of confidence, but we can't keep doing the same things. We need to inject data, we need to inject modeling, we need to understand what it takes to really be a growth business in today's world, and start to work and disrupt ourselves from a new place in marketing and communications, and really begin with a new value exchange with people.
So just sort of dovetailing off of that, tell me where accountability fits into that and what that means.
So I think that there's a long-held belief that 50% of all marketing is wasted and advertising is wasted, but people just don't know what half is wasted. That's not true anymore. We have more accountability, more modeling, more smart measurement in what media and advertising is doing than ever before. The problem is, with the advent of the digital marketing ecosystem, there's so much fragmentation. And people are building brands now. Brands and marketers and agencies aren't building brands. And so it's really hard to understand, where do you start to actually begin to build efficacy, reach, scale, and how do you actually disrupt yourself from the standpoint of a brand that's got legacy, distribution, value chain, costs, versus upstarts like a direct-to-consumer brand like Dollar Shave Club. Gillette never saw Dollar Shave Club coming, yet they completely upended the category. They've been bought by Unilever for well over what people would have thought the market value would have been, and essentially showed the market leader that they had to change the way they marketed to people and the way they communicated. And now Gillette is recovering from that. So this has never been as accountable a marketplace as we have today. Yet it kind of feeds back to my earlier point. There's a crisis in confidence in marketing, and because models are being upended, people don't think anything's going to work.
So what does this all mean for television, which is the tired and true, but isn't going away?
No, it's not going away, and it shouldn't. And in a lot of ways, television is the most perfect model that we've ever created of the last 75 years. It's got scale, it's got reach, it's got engagement. But the problem with television is you waste a lot more in getting that reach than you actually effectively reach the consumer segments that you want. And the digital marketing ecosystem has taught us that. I am a huge believer that the $100 billion marketplace needs to be absolutely disrupted. And I think addressable TV and connected TVs and injecting data into the television plan and buy will disrupt it. But the problem is, right now, the marketplace has not been made. The supply side is somewhat ready to sell this way. The demand side is not as completely ready because mostly they don't know how to plan and buy for it because they need to have more software and automation to help them make sense of all the complexity. You can't do addressable advertising on a spreadsheet. And so we're in this awkward moment where we know the business results work. We know that addressable, personalized communication increases brand lift, increases sales, increases people's engagement, but we're not doing it at scale. And I think a summit like this one can actually help people realize that ultimately, the only way to drive change is to change. And the marketplace will be made by Roku, by Hulu, by the MVPDs, and the streaming companies a lot faster than they'll be made by the cable and the broadcast networks. And that's why I think you're starting to see Comcast and others start to catch up.
So tell me what you're doing in your new roles.
So I'm an operating partner for Providence Equity Partners. They are a private equity firm mostly focused on media and technology. I'm involved in 2 deals with them, one for an ad tech company called Double Verify, and then a marketing and sports marketing firm based in Europe. And I'm really enjoying the investing side of things. I love strategy. I love working with CEOs. I love working on big problems and opportunities. And that's really been fun. And then the other part of my week is I'm working with a select group of CEOs and startup companies, helping them on branding, on purpose, on go-to-market strategy, and I've been working really heavily with LiveRamp, with Anaplan, and with a company in Chicago called Uptake Technologies.